This city is huge, and this is what we're defending. It's going to be really interesting to see how we can hold out, but obviously we can't lose the areas back here. This is all Stalingrad, one massive city. So first things first, I'm going to take my Katusha and open fire on this annoying anti-tank gun, or actually maybe an anti-infantry weapon, a PaK-38. No, maybe not. Once again, it looks like the Germans are much better armed. The 6 Wehrmacht infantry, as you can see, we've got 13 here, but they're mostly conscripts. They're not doing very well against these Germans. We're going to pop back, open fire. And I'm really mostly concerned about the infantry, not so much concerned about these units. So I'm going to do everything I can to really hammer it home to their infantry. Even when we're taking a loss like that, I will not stop attacking. All right, let's see. Coming from the north. The 14th Soviet Engineers. Glorious. By the way, since you guys are here, we might as well, if you want your name in the game, we can absolutely add you. That's one of the great things about this game, is the ability to add people. So here we go. We've already got some awesome T-34s, you know, my favorite tank, obviously. But before we use them, I definitely want to suppress the enemy. So I'm going to move up this artillery piece. Just make sure that this 4th Panzer knows that they're not going to get in here easily. We're going to do the same to this heavy machine gun team, but we're not going to attack them with the tank. We're just going to hit them with our regular unit after attacking them with the regular OT-34. This is strange, OT-34. I know what a T-34 is, but what's an OT-34? Unless that's just a slight error, script error, which it could be. Alright, here we go. I think that's good. I don't think I want to move this guy too much. Like, I'm trying to position these guys in decent places, but we're being attacked from all areas, so we want to be careful. And attacking from the woods always works. Except when it doesn't. Let's go ahead here, we'll open fire. Now this is a 203mm gun. Wow. I have to say, I would never want to be fired upon with a 203mm gun. There's very little is going to be left afterwards, I can tell you that right now. Alright, here we go. Getting rid of this enemy artillery with almost no difficulty whatsoever. And if we can just keep bombing these guys, getting rid of them, who knows? Maybe we can get a quick victory. Or more than likely, the Germans are going to have some serious reinforcements here. Got a guard unit that are going to help tremendously as well. And I'll actually move the guard unit over here to the front of the city. Sort of as a, well, as a guard, I guess. Make sure that we're not being attacked on any other front. Actually, wow, they're very close over here. I don't like that. I've never seen this before. Su-52. Oh, and that's not looking very good. Let's see how it does against infantry. Slightly better. This Su-52 is very overrated. Let's see if we can hit this tank in the back. And actually, I'm going to take the loss with the Zis. The Zis obviously is a tank destroyer, but fighting against such a strong tank, it's going to be tough, a Panzer. But we actually did pretty well. I'm going to do the same here with our KV-1B and getting some amazing, exceptional hits there on the enemy troops. I just wonder how willing they're going to be to actually reinforce these guys. I'll bring these guys replacements. Probably should have waited a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to bring the conscripts up to attack. These guys were just attacking en masse. One huge wave of Soviet conscripts. Here we go. Let's end the turn. Let's see what the Germans are going to do. Okay, so there's definitely a place there where they're just basically sending in troops whenever they feel like it. And we already see a few more tank troops coming in from the border, so we know that they're going to send in reinforcements. We've got to be a lot more careful. We might need to pull back a bit. We were kind of just trying to engage them outside of the outskirts of the city, but I'm thinking getting in the city make it a lot harder for them to make any advances. Damn, that heavy machine gun team is rough. Yeah, so you guys can see here just the major advances they're doing. There's no way we can hang out on the front lines here. We're going to have to do a concentrated retreat back into the city and hold our ground there. Because this is just crazy. Look at this. They're coming from everywhere. So I hope you guys are formulating some battle plans down in the chat. I will be jumping over there at the end of this turn. And I would like some new ideas. Of course, I'm assuming that most people will say, run. Run back to Stalingrad and take cover in the buildings, which is what I plan to do. Because right now these Germans are definitely attacking in force. I mean, even that silly AT gun is moving forward to kill one of our infantry units. Man, talk about a lot of enemies. So give me 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna keep pulling these guys back. Go up to the north as well, and I'm gonna do the same. Now, mainly we have to focus on the center. So I'm actually going to consolidate my troops towards the center. I'll start moving everyone towards kind of the center of Stalingrad. There's no point in having guys get killed over here, but starting a northern defensive line is important because we know that the enemy is going to attack from the north and from the west. There we go. That's a good start. This guy, unfortunately, is in a lot of trouble. I don't think there's any point in getting him replacements. He's just going to have to die a glorious death for the motherland. I think that's the best thing to do for him. Let's open fire here. I'm going to move back before I do. And I'll do the same with the Katyusha. Now this is the only time where I actually might take my unit and not retreat immediately, just because I want to deal damage to the PaK-38 gun. I don't want him taking out our Katyusha or our artillery piece for that matter. Alright, pretty good start here. We could open fire on this guy, but actually we take a lot of hits here. It's the 12th Wehrmacht. So let's take our boys, move them into the city. The hell just happened there? Did we just send him back to the pool? We may have just sent him back to the actual pool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open fire, destroy that tank there. So the KV-1 has taken out the Panzer IV, and we will get into the city once again. Same with our poor little ZIS-2. This thing is useless, especially right now. They're going to be captured or destroyed. And actually, somehow, we just got off the field. That's very strange. Because this is an escape off the field, but we don't want to escape. But we'll take a look and see if we can purchase any units. We have absolutely no air cover whatsoever, but I'm not even sure if we have an airfield. Let's take a look. We might not. Not a single airfield? Yeah, we're out of airfields, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and probably invest in a tank unit. Another T-34 is always perfect. We can even get some Shermans, guys, from the Lend-Lease program. I'm going to get a Sherman. Just why not? And we'll pop them over here. We actually have a lot more we could purchase. Look at this prestige. So there's a lot of different weapons we could buy. I'm also going to get a few artillery pieces. I only buy the best. And we will bring a Voroshovlitz with it so that it can move a lot faster. If you guys have any suggestions for things we should buy, put it down below because we do need your feedback. We also have a lot of Germans here in the center specifically, so I definitely want to build that second defensive line. Let's get another T-34, and we'll get an infantry unit back here as well because I don't want them pressing on this area. Let's get the SMG infantry, yes, with the PPSH, the glorious PPSH submachine gun. So that's the name of the game, is hold the enemy for 10 turns. We could definitely reinforce a lot of these squads, which I'm going to do. But I'm going to move a lot of them sort of back to the center of town if possible. You see that border slowly encroaching, and I don't want it to get much closer. But these guys I'm going to leave here. I was actually going to move these tanks. I'm going to leave them here. I'm confident... I don't know how confident that they can hold the line even if the Germans continue attacking. Now for this T-34, I will move her elsewhere. So maybe in the center here. It's probably not a bad idea, just to make sure. We'll send them over here to the northeast of the city. And for now, yeah, we just got to keep moving back. Use the Katyusha to try to finish this guy off. And of course, we will send back our glorious Soviet infantry for a kill here, the 16th Regulars. Fritz will not be using that gun anytime in the future, I can promise you that. Alright, these poor guys have to get out of here. Incredibly, we could probably save the ZIS-30. Not that I really care to, but, you know, we'll do what we have to. And we'll keep moving back, guys. We're going to keep moving back. I might go ahead and purchase another unit, especially since we seem pretty light on this area. So let me purchase another SMG infantry. I'm assuming since this is city fighting, tanks are not going to be the greatest thing to have. I might be wrong, but we'll soon see if that's the case. For this guy, we can go ahead and provide some reinforcements, of course. Same with this infantry unit. We don't want anybody, I should say, to go without, if that makes sense. We'll actually move this guy back, too. Let's end the turn. What are you doing, Fritz? Katyusha! Alright, so they're going for a pretty heavy attack here, and it seems to be working, at least initially. So they're attacking us from the flank here in the central front part of the city. And this is what I was worried about, them attacking us from areas we can't see. That Katyusha's out of rockets. We're going to have to improve that situation soon. But we know that the enemy's behind us with Pioneer units. So I don't know if they're using paratroopers. I don't know if they're just moving behind us in a stealthy way. But we need to get to the bottom of this. Oh my goodness, what is that monster? Ooh! Return for a good shot, KV-2. So that's a Martyr 2A, guys. I'm not a fan of the Martyr. I'm a fan of the Martyr if I'm not playing against it. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to move this tank out, to do something a little different here, and I'm going to hit their artillery. The last thing I need them to have is effective artillery in this scenario. So we're actually going to do, I guess you could call it a mini counterattack. Because I'm definitely going to move my tank up to engage. Had to go for the artillery. Now, I know that the enemy's going to get a pretty good shot on us now. But we'll move this tank over here into a more reasonable location. I'm going to get some reinforcements. Well, I should say some more ammunition for our beautiful, beautiful Katyusha. And I want to see if I can get the conscripts out to attack this tank. I don't know how effective it's going to be. No, not effective. Not effective. So we will not do that. To be honest with you, I should have probably moved back and hit this unit right here. But we'll move this guy here just to watch this area, and we'll get another SMG unit, in fact some Red Guards unit, with a half-track. And I'm going to pop him right over here to defend this area of the battlefield. I think that's pretty good. Just making sure. They're going to attack us from the south of the city. We're going to respond in kind. Here we go, guys. The 6 guards for this, the 4th Wehrmacht infantry, and of course our guards units are going to be a lot stronger. SMG infantry, let's see how they perform in battle. Yes! That PPSH cannot be stopped. We just crushed a German unit. Very cool. I'm going to end the turn, but not before I do something in regards to this annoying Martyr to the north. So I'm going to try to pin him as much as I can. Yes! Nice shooting by the Soviet engineers. And I could actually chase him with Hypsocrate, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her some elite replacements here. Alright guys, I will jump in and check out your chat. Alright, we have returned, and again, with these units, I'm being very cautious. I'll send this tank to the center, actually, of the city. As for our artillery piece, I always want him to be at the forefront of wherever combat's happening, so I'm going to move him up here for now. I'm going to get this 9th Guard unit some replacements. And I'm going to start moving these guys back a little bit. But first I'll hold out a little longer. I'm going to get another KV-2. I can't help myself for the KV-2s. Since we have another German unit there, I might as well go ahead and purchase another Guards Rifle Infantry if we can. Unfortunately, we're out of points, but still, we can keep this fight going for quite a while. Alright, let's end the turn. What are you Germans going to do this time? Yeah, that was not good. Nice attack with, I guess, a Puma on one of our artillery pieces. And once again, why do I keep the IL-2 around? What's the point? Or the ZIS-2, excuse me. What is the point of keeping that thing around? Here we go. The Germans are really doing a lot of damage to it. And getting a lot closer to our southern area here. Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? It's a major German offensive there. They're doing very well with their actual infantry attacks. We're doing our best to fight back, but I don't know how it's going to go. They had to attack the poor Katusha. The poor defenseless Katusha. That's just mean. Of course, they just got rid of our artillery piece there. And we've got tanks in this region, so we can certainly respond, but this changes things. Nebelwerfers. They're using every bit of artillery they can to dislodge us from this location, and who can blame them, right, guys? As for this guy, I'm going to try to get him the hell out of here because he could still reinforce himself. And we're going to try to destroy this Martyr 2A. Nice shooting by the SMG infantry. I'm sure a few Molotov cocktails had to go into that mix. Let's go ahead and targeting this Panzer 6E. 4E, excuse me. Open fire here. I'm going to actually try to get behind him. Wow, that was a total miss on both of our ends. And there's no way I'm going to attack him with the 11th Soviet Engineers because we would lose 5 men. It's not an easy attack by any means. I'm just taking a look around as to where I think the enemy presence is strongest. And I definitely think getting to the south of the city is probably something we should be doing. Back to the battlefield indeed. So we're going to try and engage this annoying unit. One good thing is that he's actually almost out of ammunition. So no matter how we engage him, he's going to eventually run out of ammo and be a lot less effective. Now I'm actually going to engage this tank. Yes, I know, I probably should have focused on the infantry unit, but the way I see it, the second that he opens fire on any of our units, he's going to be totally out of ammo, and it's going to make our job a lot easier. Beautiful. 3, and let's start moving forward some more of our infantry. If these guys thought this was all we had, they've got another thing coming. We've got some 14th SMG infantry ready to flank them, but I'm actually going to use the SMG infantry to get rid of this flame tank, because who needs a Panzerflamme? I don't want that thing around my men. It's just mean. Alright, here we go. Boom, boom. So I guess we can pull back a bit so that he doesn't attack the artillery. Just moving deeper into the city of Stalingrad. And if I can get this tank out there. It doesn't seem worth it. As you can see, I would actually take more losses. Because when you're fighting with tanks in the city, and I tell this a lot to people that go to my channel, Agrippa Maxenius, but in terms of these kind of games, or any kind of military game, the thing about a tank is it's not really effective in a city. It really isn't. The best place for a tank is out in the open countryside, out in the fields, where it can spot enemy tanks. In the city, it's basically a death trap. It's very easy for the enemy to get around it, to trick you, to destroy your tanks, and overall just give you a really crappy day. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to keep moving back with the rest of these guys. It definitely looks like the enemy has a major assault down here in the south. We're going to do our best to stop it, and it's going to require basically a lot of different elements of our army to work together. For instance, even these tank units I might send south, but I don't know if I can ignore that Puma. I can't. I see a Puma. I want to kill it immediately. We've also got this beautiful new artillery. I want to try it out. And maybe we shouldn't so much focus on killing individual units in this campaign, since there are so many, as just damaging them as much as possible. 6! Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And now we might be able to finish them off, guys, with a 13th SMG infantry. That would be awesome. And there we go. Goodbye to the SDKFZ. You will never return. We've got a few tanks here. I'm definitely going to bring them a little farther up, just because I'm getting a bit nervous now, actually. Let's see. I think I can open fire on it. I didn't want to waste 3 tanks, but he's going to run out of ammo now, and that's going to be an interesting situation for him. Okay, let's end our turn. Why would he attack me directly with an artillery gun? Oh, that's me. That's right. Come on. Alright, I like that artillery support that we're receiving from these attacks. That's something we definitely need to keep doing. We need arty behind most of our units, especially when defending. It does two things. It makes it a lot less likely for the enemy to attack you if you've got an artillery unit behind your unit, and it provides us with some cover fire. So when the enemy attacks, we get a little bit of a bonus. Now there we go. The enemy had to focus on that tiny infantry unit and finish them off. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good. It saves us a little bit of time. I knew that guy wasn't going to survive much longer, so why not? This guy we definitely have to hit. You will never enter the great city. Boom, look at that, guys. That's what a 203 millimeter gun does. We just wiped out 4 units, and I don't think I've ever gotten that many kills with an anti-tank gun, or excuse me, with an artillery gun. But that was pretty amazing. Let's take a look at this guy, and why not? We'll engage the pioneers. And so far, they're not even in Stalingrad yet. I wonder, do they even have the courage to face us? I think not. I'm going to move back into Stalingrad, mainly to engage this unit. Now, these guys were supposed to be out of ammo. Clearly, they've gotten it back. I'm going to do whatever I can to make their lives difficult. So, first of all, I'm going to replace my Katyushas. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and open fire on this unit. I'm going to try to suppress it a little bit. And actually, we managed to get a hit on the Panzer IIIJ. And we're going to leave the KV-2. I was going to say, is there a KV-3? That doesn't make sense. KV-2 to attack the enemy here. He's going to move back. Beautiful. We just want to keep this momentum up. Glory. This is why I can totally see why the Battle of Stalingrad became so vicious. Just looking at, the different things we're dealing with right now, how these guys are fighting for every single street, I could see how nasty it could have gotten. And there we go, an easy kill for our tank. And why not? We'll also attack this unit that is low on ammo. And by the way, by the time he's low on ammunition, the other unit behind him, despite not being the greatest unit in the world, just conscripts, is going to be able to do some damage to him. Alright. We've got our Sherman here. I love this. Lend-Lease for the win. Yeah! It wasn't a bad hit by that American tank. Of course, we will say it is not American tank. It is Soviet improvement of American tank. It's all that is. It is not American tank. I repeat. We do have a lot of enemies getting over here in this area, so we need to get back for sure with one of these tank units. In fact, I'm going to try this. I wish I had saved my reinforcements a little bit more, because now I feel like purchasing some reinforcements. Nice! We can get some. Let's see what we're up against. So I'm going to purchase some guards units. That's actually the best in terms of defense. Let's put some guard units up here. We're going to have to go right for the attack. And if we can get an artillery gun, that would be even better. I want to get something not too expensive. We only have 2 core slots, though, and we've got a lot of money to spend, so let's get another Katyusha. It's going to be expensive, but it's also going to be really fun to use, and that's what's important, right, guys? Let's go ahead and grab another one, and this one, once again, I'm going to make an infantry unit, but I'll make it an SMG infantry unit. So, armed with PPSH is ready to conquer the world. Very cool. I think we should move these guys up, too. What do you guys think? I think it's probably a good idea. So we'll get these guys up here as well to assist with these defense. Now look, I'm sounding Russian now. I said these instead of this. I'm turning into a Soviet, guys. This is dangerous. Grab this and try to meet the enemy. Of course, I don't want to get too close because he could fire at the half-track and do a lot of damage. But we at least know what we're up against here. And we're prepared to deal with it. Let's get some reinforcements here. Same with this unit right here, reinforcements. And let's end our turn. What will Fritz do now? Alright, well, he's definitely still going for the artillery. I should have moved him out of there. Oh, man. So they're definitely working together. Their heavy machine gun team has no fear. At this point, the Fuhrer has said, if you guys don't take this city, I'm going to be very upset with you. So they're doing their best here, and they're doing a good job, too. I'm sort of regretting having so many heavy tanks. At first, I was like, this is great. We've got a ton of heavy tanks. They're great out on the open field, but once we get into those cities, the heavy tanks are more or less useless. About as effective as a conscript unit, really. Alright, some rugged defense. Let's see just how rugged it is. Not rugged at all. They didn't do a single bit of damage to the enemy. Come on, boys. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Alright, here we go. So, of course, we're going to be engaging the tank that just entered the city. We've got conscript units that can pretty much deal with it, but they're going to be responsible for killing this 8th Pioneer unit with no ammunition. Come on, conscripts. Actually, this is SMG infantry. The conscript units over here, I guess I could bring them some reinforcements. I don't usually do that for conscript units, but, you know, it's new times call for new strategies? I don't know. Alright, there we go. 4 hits on that German infantry unit. We'll move this guy back a little bit more. And I'm going to use this artillery piece to see if I can just take out that infantry unit so we don't have to deal with it at all. And if not, I'll open fire on this tank so we can at least suppress it a little bit. It looks like not a single one of our rounds hit. So the best thing we can do here is get some reinforcements. Same with this tank. And hope that we have enough infantry to hold out against this assault. Wow. Already that's looking pretty rough. Definitely want to get another Soviet SMG infantry unit. Now the battle is really coming down to the very basics. Alright, so I'll move this tank into the city only so that I can finish off this Pioneer unit. That's the last thing we need is a guy reinforcing in the back of our lines. I really don't want that. And look at this, the enemy's bringing in motorcycles. Well, that's great, because they're really fun to shoot. But before I shoot them, I want to get this artillery gun out of the way. Let's go ahead and open fire. And since we're out in open ground, this is actually perfect territory for our tanks to do a lot of damage. So I don't mind firing from here, but I'm going to move one of these tanks back more than likely to assist with our other defenses. Or maybe not. You know what? I just can't help myself. I'm going to have to try and destroy the Krautschützen. And there we go. That Krautschützen is up in flames. I'd like to have my own Krautschützen. I really would. Just a little sidecar. Just carry you guys around in it and have you watch me play games. Why not? Let's go ahead. Replacements for artillery. And I think we've engaged this infantry unit with everything we have, so there's not much left we could do. But we do still have this Sherman, and he's in an interesting position to provide some cover fire, some assistance. Definitely going to lose a few more men than expected here, but look at that. 3 enemies down. I'll trade 1 tank for 3 enemies any day. And actually, that battle was not in my favor, but it worked out. And as for this, Hipster tank is almost out of ammunition. Let's also grab these infantry units, and we'll move them back to the main objectives. Here we go. Some more guards units. I want to put them here, but I feel like we should be able to deal with this guy. But yeah, it's probably safe to have 1 more guard unit there. Why not? If we could purchase 1 more unit of guards, which we can, I'm going to drop him over here. In fact, an artillery gun would be awesome if we could get that, but I don't think we can afford one. Nice. We can open fire on the Krauts. So I am going to hit the unit that has nothing because we just want to destroy it. We don't have to worry about it at all. And now we will focus our fire on the units trying to attack this point right here. The 1526 point at Stalingrad. We don't want them getting in. That's the point. Well, let me say point again, just to get the point across. Ugh, Agrippa, why? Now, let's move this tank back. Once again, I'm moving most of my tanks back to the main victory positions. Unless I get a really good shot here, I'm not going to take the risk. And let's end our turn. Let's hope that the Germans haven't gotten any closer. They keep sending armor in, I'm not as afraid. I'm more afraid if they keep sending those tiny infantry units in. Wow, that was a vicious shot, I must admit. Sherman did not do well against that tank. Enemy infantry totally retreated and went to another part of the city. Now our conscripts aren't even firing. Apparently they've become pacifists. Well, it happens. Send in the NKVD to deal with this problem. So there we go. As you guys can see, their infantry units are able to engage our tank units with no losses, really, inside the city, no matter how heavy the tank is. This is where we know we really have to go heavy on infantry and not focus so much on the tank units. There we go. One of our boys down with a Kratzschützen. I'm telling you, those German motorcycles are unforgiving. I wonder what, if anybody wants to look it up, I wonder what projectile the Kratzschützen used. I would assume just a regular machine gun round, but it would be interesting to see. And how effective were they in battle? That's what I really want to know. Alright, so Hypsocratea desperately needs supply. So I'm going to go ahead and supply her unit. I'm also going to try to provide some Katyusha rocket fire for the enemies over here in this part of the battlefield. This is just going to make it a little easier for us to hit them. And there's an artillery piece here. I want to leave the area here and hit the artillery piece, but I just know that leaving the city right now is not something we should do. We've got to stay put. As you know, as tempting as it looks, that's nothing more than bait. We've got to stay away from it. Getting a lot of replacements for these men. And once again, there might be one single time that I will use this tank in the open, and that's against this tank right here. Because I'm pretty sure that our T-34-43 is going to destroy this Panzer III, but again, I'm just guessing. Also a little bit of favoritism there. I am a fan of the Soviet tanks. Same with this guy. I can't help myself, and that's just going to give our OT-34 a nice extra shot. Why not, right? This is what I'm not liking, is just the amount of infantry in this area, but like I said, we're going to engage their tank units with our infantry, and that's how we're going to deal with them. Might actually bring some replacements to this guy. I think I will, and we'll keep attacking this guy even with our KV-2. Well, there you go. What do you know? We actually got the hit first. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some replacements. Same with this guy here. Excuse me, guys. Still fighting a bit of a cold. It's not fun. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we should be able to finish off this unit completely. The 12th Wehrmacht infantry. They're in trouble. In fact, we could technically get one of these guys to surrender. I'd love to show you guys what that looks like. We'd surround him and basically get them to throw up the white flag. But I want none surrendered. I want no prisoners. We're going to try to kill them all. We've also still got this artillery gun, which we should be able to use. Come on. I blame all the civilian homes. There we go, guys. Destroying the 12th Wehrmacht and really solidifying our control of the south. Initially, I was concerned about this area. I'm not as concerned. I'm more concerned about the north and the center now, because these areas could still get pretty nasty. And look at this. The Kratzschützen, I was under the impression we would get a perfect attack on it. If we attack these guys, we're going to lose 5 men in the process. That's not fun. So I'm actually going to get out of here with this unit, and I'm going to try to hit the 3rd Wehrmacht infantry. Not bad, but we definitely need to move this tank up or this artillery up or somebody up to deal with this annoying Kratzschützen. Never realized that motorcycle was going to cause me so much trouble. Okay. So far, we've done everything we can. If we can get another unit, I will. And, of course, it's going to be an infantry unit. We've got a few infantry units here that we can experiment with, because they're on a front that seems to be pretty silent, but it might not be. And as you can see right there, we've already found a heavy machine gun unit. I'm going to open fire from the buildings here in Stalingrad, but yeah, he's going to be a lot more effective for sure, and probably not the smartest idea to attack a heavy machine gun unit head-on like that. Don't do that ever again. Here we go. Let's engage the Stu-42. It's not a Stug, but a Stu. Now, he's also almost out of ammunition, and again, the main thing here is cutting off the enemy supplies, making them run out of ammo, you know, not necessarily killing their troops, but just making them practically useless, very, very weak units, etc., and that's what we're trying to do. So let's move up with our 12th SMG infantry. In fact, sorry, he can't attack yet, so we'll actually keep him back here. I think we've already attacked just about every unit we have. We'll go ahead and try to purchase another unit, and I will get an SMG infantry. Drop him over here. Seems about right anyway. And we shall end the turn. Just making sure I haven't forgotten anything. In Stalingrad, you cannot forget anything. You've got to make sure you've moved all your units, because every single movement counts. We're going to have to say goodbye to that artillery piece, I'm pretty sure, but I'm glad they're not focusing on the KV-2. Those pioneers are vicious. I mean, when you have a flamethrower, that's very useful in an urban environment. That's exactly what those pioneer squads are equipped with, and they know how to use them. So they're getting very close to an area that I'm very glad I dropped some reinforcements here, because we're going to need to defend big time against an infantry assault in the south. And there we go. We said to say goodbye to our poor little artillery piece. He did his best, at least, right, guys? Well, that's just ballsy. The crotch shoots in going right against one of my tanks. These guys don't even care about their lives anymore. So the fanaticism for the attack on Stalingrad had to be intense. And of course, I'm sure the Germans, you guys, armchair historians, I'm an armchair historian too, can post down below why you think the Germans were so ferocious in their attack on Stalingrad. I think it's because they just knew that this was an area that needed to be taken. Let's go ahead, open fire on that Krautschützen. I want to finish it before I end this stream, because I absolutely hate that Krautschützen. There you go, goodbye. All of a sudden, the motorcycles crash into all the buildings. You have no chance against the Soviets. Alright, so let's try to hit this guy right here, this wonderful little Panzer IIIJ. I don't like how close this German infantry is to our victory points. So we're going to move back just a little bit. If I can hit him with a Katusha, I will. Learn your lesson. As you can see, the Soviets don't really care about collateral damage. If we're firing into our own city to kill the enemy, so be it. And it is the lesser of two evils. So we could actually finish this guy off. Let's kill him. We'll finish off the 4th Panzer. We don't have to worry about the 4th Panzer Division at all anymore. But I do want to bring our artillery, our infantry units back to deal with this annoying 4th Wehrmacht infantry unit. Man, I'm really liking those new SMG units. I don't know about you guys, but they seem to be pretty effective on the attack. And actually, I might be able to target. No, sadly not, because we shot already. But let's bring some reinforcements to the 6 Guards. Why not? It's about time. Let's bring some reinforcements to the 29th Guards. And I will be attacking this heavy machine gun crew. Even if we don't do well, they're going to run out of ammunition this turn, and they will have nothing to do next turn except wait for us to kill them, which is my favorite part, of course, of this situation. Here we go with the KV-2. I'm actually going to move the KV-2 down 1 tile. Open fire. We probably could have finished him off with the Soviet infantry, but I'm being difficult. What can I say? There we go. Say goodbye. And I want to move this artillery piece way back, because right now the Germans are very close and not being friendly, to say the least. More Katusha support, and at this point I hope that's going to loosen up the attack for our regulars. But actually, I'll attack this unit with a tank if I can. I might actually go first for the enemy artillery because it's there. But I wouldn't have minded providing some tank support and losing some tanks just to make this artillery attack, or this infantry attack, much more effective. Street by street, man. That's why there's so many men going down now. We're going to move up the 31st Guards. Glory to the Soviet Union. And they're going to have to retreat. We'll also bring some reinforcements to these guys. So what I'm going to do is just keep recycling the units. Bring one unit in. When they go down, we bring them back to this part of the city, reinforce them, etc., etc. And there we go. We've been ambushed. I knew there were going to be a few Germans attacking here from the south. I was worried about that. Let's hope we can get some more Red Guard units. Actually, I'll get... Let's see what's more expensive. The SMG is 131. The Red Guards are 128. Pretty even, actually. And that kind of makes sense, because Red Guards units do have PPSHs. So I'm going to take the Red Guard unit. It's slightly less expensive. And we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this particular stream. We're going to start winding it down now. But I hope you guys had fun anyway. I'm also going to be uploading this stream onto my channel, I believe. If I can. We'll see how that goes. But... give me a second. Hope you guys had fun anyway. You're watching Mamma Mia, okay? Thank you, Mildolf. I appreciate it. Oh, well, that's awesome. Thanks, Firefly Boy. So I guess I picked the right campaign to play this time, or the right battle to play. So I appreciate all you guys for showing up. Really, really fun to have you here as always. If you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them regarding Soviet Core or any of the other games we're playing. Now, next week we're going to be playing a different game called Last Days of Old Earth. And it's going to be a little bit different than the World War II stuff we've been playing so far, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So I really hope to see you there. It really would be cool to see you guys there. I always like to leave you guys with a channel link for those of you that have enjoyed the stream enough that you want to stop by my channel, maybe check out some videos, and become part of the Agrippa Maxentius channel, of course. So I'm going to put that here for you guys to join if you so desire. Get rid of this all this script. What's this doing here? There we go, guys. So thank you again, guys, for watching. I would highly recommend picking up Soviet Core. In my opinion, especially if you're a fan of the Panzer Corps series, Soviet Core, to me, is the best DLC so far. I know that might be crazy to hear, people might not believe that. That's just my personal opinion. I'm a huge fan of Soviets, so that might explain that.